Hey everybody, Dr. Greco here. Welcome to Ministry in a Minute. So all week we've been talking about connecting with people. It is the core of the Christian message. It is the most important thing we do. We need to connect with people so that we can build bridges to sharing the gospel and growing the kingdom as a team. Okay, so it's a big deal. Now, we've talked about lots of stuff this week, serving and allowing others to help you and serve you, celebrating together, and just opening our homes, being hospitable, spending time with people in a personal way that grows those relationships. All of those matter. Today I want to lead into next week. I also want to say, by the way, this week's podcast handles all of these things even more in depth. So look it up. It's at Kingdom Insights. I'll put the address at the bottom of the screen here for the website or for the podcast. But look that up because it's 30 minutes of teaching on this subject, and it goes through everything we've done this week. So the last thing I want to talk about kind of leads into what we're going to talk about next week. Next week, we're going to discuss how we can engage with people by asking the right questions to initiate a gospel conversation. But with that said, asking the right questions can also begin to build the bridge of a relationship. Now, Jesus asks hundreds of questions in the gospel because he's trying to connect to people and he's trying to figure out where people are and let them connect to him. And there's this one moment in John chapter 5 where Jesus heals the paralytic at the pool. The guy had been paralyzed for a long time. And Jesus says to him, "Do you want to get well?" Now, a lot of people would say that that's a question maybe to open up the gospel, but I think it's even an earlier question than that. I think it's a question that Jesus wants this man to kind of step back and say, what's my goal here? And I think sometimes that we, in discussions with people that we don't know very well but know a little bit, we could ask questions that begin conversations. You know, the last 2 days we've said, how can I help you or can you help me? Those are great questions. But I think if we ask people, you know, if there's a man working on his house, ask him, what's your vision for this? What do you think this is going to look like when it's done? And then let him share that with you. If we engage people by letting them tell us what interests them, it goes a long way to us understanding who they are, what their desires are, what their struggles are. Maybe the simple question, how are you? But wait for them to respond. Don't ask it just as a politeness. Hey, how you doing? Good. No, really. How are you? I know you weren't feeling well. Are you feeling better? What was going on with that? And then listen. So the right questions with a listening ear could open up bridges to more questions, which is what we'll talk about next week in another Ministry in a Minute.